Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 20 of Crypto Waffle, the big 2-0. So we have a special announcement to make. From every month from now on, we are going to try and have a guest appearance on the Crypto at some point during the month. So stay tuned for our first guest, which will hopefully be recorded, I believe, next week. So keep that in the diaries, keep that booked.
Can we,
Like having topics.
can we tell people who the guests are, or is it a secret?
It's a surprise.
Okay.
So today's topics, we are bull market. We're so back, baby. ELIZA V2, and then Solana's own goal. And then I think you wanted to mention some other things quickly as well.
Yeah, I think we might skip Solana's own goal. I wanted to talk about the Solana advert which came out. I don't know if you saw it. No, I wanted to talk about that, but that's kind of old hat now. That was maybe 3 or 4 days ago. So instead, let's talk a little bit about vibe coding and the new vibe hacking, which is the two things that have popped up over this past, I don't know, 2 weeks or so.
Yeah. What is vibe coding?
So vibe coding is basically when you're coding stuff using AI. So it's
not in the, so it's basically generic coding, but just being assisted, if that makes sense.
Yes.
When you say vibe coding, it sounds quite fun.
It's fun. It's a lot of fun. Right. So let me show you quickly. Let me share my screen and I'll show you no, I'm not, because it's not that crypto related. So I'll let it run in the background because I've got it running on the other screen. I'll let it run in the background. And later on, when we actually tackle the subject, I'll show you the website and we'll discuss a little bit more about vibe coding in detail, and we could discuss.
It sounds quite relaxed and chilled.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's the best thing I've found all year. It's the best thing I've found since crypto. Actually, it's great fun. It's actually that much fun. It is.
Big statement.
Yeah, it is that much fun. It is that much fun.
Kick it off with topic 1. We are so back. We have finally seen some green today for probably the first time in a long time. Bitcoin is currently back at, you get these numbers correct, $88,377. ETH is back over 2K. XRP is at $2.46. BNB is at 640, and Sol is at 142. We have seen some memes popping up as well. SPX is up 25% the last 24 hours. Bartcoin is also up. So if you paid attention to us talking about SPX, was it last week?
Yeah, it's massively up.
You've done pretty well.
Yeah.
But what do you think is driving this currently? Do you think also you do people are starting to?
I was watching Bloomberg. Let me know if if you can hear this jumping around.
I can hear that. But...
Right, let me go and tell him. I want to tell him to stop straight away. Hold up, because otherwise we'll have the same thing we had last time.
He's obviously still practicing his wrestling quite a bit.
So, same as last week, the issue is that it's 6 o'clock. It's that golden time between coming home, getting changed that uniform, and mum putting dinner on, and yeah, he's going ballistic. He's in the room next door, and he's shaking the whole house. Right. So, I was talking about, are we back for the bull run? Today I was watching Bloomberg, and those guys were excited. Obviously, they're not crypto guys. They are just TradFi guys. But they are saying that effectively everybody is kind of under the impression that the tariff thing is almost over. They're saying that Trump will probably focus the tariffs on certain people, and the markets like that. So the markets have been rallying. The hiccups, there are two hiccups that we are worried about coming up. The first one is, I think it's some kind of announcement he's going to make on the 2nd of April regarding the tariffs and how focused they are. Now we're hoping that the tariffs only apply to a few niche sectors and Trump does another one of these things where he walks back these massive, scary statements that he's made, which you kind of predicted he would do. The second thing, which nobody is really talking about, that I'm a bit more worried about, is the whole DeepSeek Part 2. So when DeepSeek R1 came out, the markets, they absolutely messed themselves up. Everyone was terrified. Now DeepSeek R2 is scheduled to be released at some point next month. They said they're going to move it forward because they're doing so well with it, which is exactly what you don't want to hear. By rumored accounts, the new DeepSeek will be 170 times more powerful than the old DeepSeek. So it will be the most powerful
out there
that they have. Yeah. Chances, even if it's not, chances are it will be a whole heap cheaper than OpenAI's closed source reasoning model. Chances are it will be better. And if they release it and it is better, and again, they've released it at a fraction of the cost that it costs to do Grok or it costs to do OpenAI, then the Americans are going to be like, we may have to concede that we are losing this battle, and the markets will act accordingly. So I think those are the two biggest things that we have to be worried about coming up. But apart from that, we're heading in the right direction to head back to all-time highs, I think.
Yeah. Or it could be that famous liquidity chart we've watched.
Yeah. Yeah. So we did say that the there was a what was it, the CME gap you was talking about? Was it you that posted about the CME gap?
It wasn't me, but there has been a CME gap below, and I think there's now one above us. Now, I'm in stocks today, S&P, and I believe the Nasdaq has gapped up opening, which is normally a good sign from the bottom. But the only problem with that is those gaps on the way up normally get filled. So what you want to be doing is, if you're looking to get into Nasdaq and S&P and you think, oh shit, maybe we're not going down again, stick some orders in that gap. Because that, if we come back in, you should get filled and carry on. But yeah, I think we're seeing this switch of narrative at the minute. Everyone's starting to dog down a bit, stop panicking.
The tech stocks have been doing really well today, which is always a good sign. Tesla's doing really well today, and Nvidia as well is also doing really well today. I think those things kind of now give crypto the chance to do well also. Problem being that some people were saying that, have we experienced enough pain yet? Have we had it? It does feel like the whole drawdown wasn't quite as...
We always should normally see this though. When we're at the bottom, people get too bearish, and when we're at the top, everyone gets too bullish. So you always get those extreme sentiments. So you remember, even we discussed it. I said I had orders down to 72K on Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And I only had one order filled at 77.5. Like, the others that haven't got hit. And there'll be a lot of people out there that are saying, oh, I had orders down there, didn't get hit. I thought it was going lower, blah, blah, blah. And it never happens. I mean, there is a world in which the scenario is that we rally back up at the minute, we get to say 90K and we get hammered back down again. Now, I don't know. I mean, you have to treat this current trend as a trend break of structure, because we have, on the smaller term time frames, we've broken down. So now we've got to see if we can start reclaiming these higher levels, because I think if we can reclaim 90 and then start getting back up into that channel, there's a very good chance that we break straight out of that 110 and start going to fresh highs.
Yeah.
And then everyone's waiting for this 72K Bitcoin or 68. They're going to be buying well late.
So Have you flipped over? Last week we spoke, we done our predictions. I was bullish, you not so much, but we had to choose one of the two. But we did kind of feel like there's going to be a moment where we do go bullish. Now, this week we've had SPX absolutely ripped off. I'd assume it's done over 100% this week. I think it's over 60 now.
It's definitely moved. It definitely hasn't been a small move.
Yeah, it's super moved. Bitcoin's at 88 right now. ARK is moving. ARK's not.
Yeah, ARK was up big today. There's a lot of
Yeah.
I mean, last week SPX from bottom did about 42% move.
Yeah.
So from the bottom of last week to now, you'd be up around 70-odd%.
Yes.
Or take. But
Yeah.
technical wise, which we'll get into later, you are technically at a bearish retest or coming to a bearish retest level. So what you need to see is this stuff get through these levels and confirm to hold the support before you continue to long effectively.
So we had argued that we thought perhaps WIF was the precursor to Doge. But what if it's not? What if it's SPX? What if SPX 6900 is the meme to spark?
Is there a need for a pre-serve search though? I mean, could it be the rise of Fartcoin again?
Yeah.
I mean, Brett is up big today, 28%. Could be any of these memes that have been absolutely hammered over the last 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months. Yeah, 3 months. Because it's the turn of the year.
Yeah, it could be any single one of them. So I don't think we need a resurgence. I just think we need the amount of uncertainty that's been around to settle, which is like you said a minute ago. We're starting to see this tariff stuff's come down. People are getting a bit more comfortable. I mean, Twitter is still mega bearish. My Twitter is still mega bearish, but when I see Twitter mega bearish, that makes me ultra bullish.
Yeah.
You need to be the complete opposite that everybody else is.
Yeah.
Especially Twitter. Yeah, and I was talking about this a couple of days ago. I was saying the risk to reward here is, yes, we could have another 20 to 30% downside, but your upside is SPX, for an example, is already up 70% in just over a week.
100%.
It's 100% in a week and a half.
Yeah.
Like, your upside here is a lot greater than your potential downside. Yes, your alts could get hammered 50%, but this is why I said, I think it was episode 18, maybe last week, that the majority of the cash I had on the side is in.
Yeah.
But I wasn't waiting around. I wanted to get in, get my orders, and sit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. I think chances are, unless, the argument was, I guess it's all easy with hindsight. The argument was previously, maybe we have a broken cycle. Maybe this cycle, it tops out real early and we don't get the blow off top that we had wanted. Now, the counter argument to that, which you said last week, was that we have loads of cycles, every cycle, in fact, where you have a 40% plus drawdown in Bitcoin and everything else gets smashed. That happens. And it looks like it's happened again. This time it's not different. As we always say, like, it always feels different. This time it's not different. Maybe we've taken our 40% and now it's time for us to go directly to the moon. Providing
would be on a monthly basis, if we could get the month of March and that candle to close above the 90k, I think you're in for a quick, fast move that's going to see a lot of people off guard, because that is key. If we can get up above that 90k, that's the sign that, okay, maybe bottoms it. I mean, there's a chance that you maybe go to 94, then come back down. But if you can start building a base around that 90k area, I think there's a very good chance that bottom could be in. Now, I don't want to obviously get too far ahead of ourselves, but we've seen a nice bounce. But it's technically a bearish retest at this stage. So let's see what happens. But I mean, we're coming to the close of March now, which is about a week away. If we can get the monthly close back up above 90, that is going to be one hell of a monthly candle on Bitcoin. Because you would have had a low all the way down to 76.7-ish, and a high of around 95.
Yeah.
That's a big monthly candle.
Overall, if you had to say yes or no,
what's the
is the bull run back on? Yes or no?
From what I look at and people I listen to, there's still a lot of people very split in macro and crypto land. But because I was a tad bearish, and as I said, some of my orders didn't even get filled, and I'm happy that I pivoted actually out of them and into alts because I didn't wait around for them. I snapped them up. I'm going to say bottom top of it. But I would like to see the monthly close up above 90. Okay. Or a week or consecutive weekly closes above that 90. If we don't get that, there's still a chance we can come back down.
Okay.
So don't get too far ahead of yourself, and not financial advice. If I had some funds on the side now, okay, and I wanted to get into, say, my chosen 3 assets, I would most likely put in around 60 to 70% of it here, where we are, and hold the rest for a deep 20, 30% pullback.
Yeah.
Assuming, obviously, you have the bias that I have, which is we're going to rally towards the end of this year and maybe it's 26.
Yeah.
So that's sort of a longer term mindset, not next week or April sort of it.
Yeah. Are there any other hurdles you can see besides the 2 I mentioned, or do you think everything does revolve around this money supply and
this 2nd of April, when these tariffs are supposedly meant to be put in, depending on what is said, yes, there could be something there that spooks headlines. But other than that, I think everyone got too bearish at the lows, just like we all did at 110k when we were at the highs. Yeah. Second time around, everyone was too bullish, going, right, we're ready for 120, we're going to 140. I mean, Arthur Hayes has come out today and said that if we get back up to 110 before we hit, as it's 76, I think he said, then expect 140k Bitcoin sooner than you can say go. Effectively. I'm going to find the tweet now and actually quote it.
I like Arthur Hayes. He's
a funny character.
Yeah, he's good value. He is good value.
He's been in the space a while as well, hasn't he?
Yeah. When I first got in, he was already around. So he
said, he goes, I bet Bitcoin hits 110k before it retests 76.5. Yeah, the Fed is going from QT to QE for treasuries, and tariffs don't matter because transitory inflation. Jay Powell, which is what Jay Powell said in his speech. His grammar is shocking there. But he's actually edited that underneath and put my grammar was a bit off. What I mean is the price will more likely to hit a high of 110 than 76 next. If we hit 110, then it's Yahtzee time and we ain't looking back until 250.
Woo.
So we could get moving fast. He was correct on this call on the way down as well, by the way. He called it at 110 for us to go back to 70s.
What's the thinking behind tariffs don't matter?
I mean, to be honest, realistically, and this is just maybe because I don't know enough about tariffs or how they work, and maybe me looking at it from a too simplistic approach, but tariffs, yes, in the longer term, they could create issues. But all these big companies, as soon as Trump got in, knew that he was going to talk about tariffs. So what did they do? They front run everything. They were double, triple, quadra ordering all of their normal stuff because they knew there was a likelihood that tariffs would come in. So they probably ordered as many things as they needed as possible before this happens. So it will take time. You could be looking, I don't know, 6 months, a year down the line before we actually see effects of tariffs on the consumer. Yeah. Now, we have to have a consumer continuing to spend. And I think if the stock market does come down another 20% or 10% from here, the consumer so the biggest consumers currently in the US, I learned this from the podcast today actually, is the top 1% that earn over $250,000 a year in the US. They have been the biggest consumer as of today, and it's the highest it's ever been for the last 30 years. They've never consumed more in the whole of 30 years apart until today. So if the stock market gets hit, they're going to feel the heat. They're going to cut back on consuming. And if we stop consuming, well, then we will have an actual growth scare. Like what we're seeing now is not a growth scare. People are calling for a growth scare and recession, but they do it every cycle. And Raoul Pal and Julian Patel talk about this on their show that they did last week. So it's standard procedure, but it's what you want to see effectively when markets are down, because people go, right, well, here's the crash, we've started, like, are you ready? And then we can move. But obviously, like I say, in the short term, we have to see markets start to recover some T-levels. If they don't, there's a good chance that we are still in this downturn phase. And because the whole point, and if you look at charts going back over a bear market, is that these short, sharp rallies we get drag everyone back in. They think, holy shit, we've just gone from 76 to 94. Christ, we're going back to 150. And then you don't get there, and it's the next leg lower all the way to 50k. So let's just kind of play it level by level. Don't get too ahead of yourselves. Obviously, I'm looking from my own framework and stuff that I listen to. But yeah, I think tariffs and that, they still play a role. But the headline tennis, I think, is everyone's kind of got fed up with it and thought, well, we're just going to do our own thing now. It's pointless trying to plan for what he's going to say next.
And that was on the cards. And I think you're right, because if I was doing any business with China, I think my first thing would be to do is say, let's have an agreement that I'm purchasing 1 year's worth of stock from you, and I will just pay you bit by bit. Let's just lock the price in before.
The other thing is everyone's talking about obviously all this money coming out of the US and going to the Europe at the minute as the DAX is up and whatever else. Now, yes, I get that. But I believe, me personally, I feel this is just a trade. Everyone saw the US getting a bit shocky. Everyone was a bit uncertain around these tariffs. They've gone, okay, the EU have just announced they're going to spend $500 billion on protecting Europe. Where do we go? The German stock market, right? And you've seen these German defense companies. I think some of them are up like 200% over the last month. Like, they're up big. That's like crypto numbers.
Yeah.
But I think this is a trade. Let's be honest. If you are BlackRock, right, you're not going to just pull out of the US because tariffs. I mean, you manage like $4 trillion of assets. You're not going to go, oh, quick, we need to get half of our portfolio over to Europe. Like, I don't want to invest in Europe, even if they're going to stimulate 500 billion. I'm not interested in the DAX. I'm not interested in the FTSE. I'm interested in US stock market, because that is where all the big boys are. That's what you want to be playing with.
But playing devil's advocate, as you say that, with the situation we've got in Ukraine and the Europeans clearly having some sort of bloodlust for whatever reason, it's possible that they end up printing a lot of money to finance this war in Ukraine. It's possible. And if they do...
If they do that and they continue to stimulate, then what do you want to be holding? You want to be holding defense stocks.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I would hold. I wouldn't be buying the DAX or the FTSE 100, FTSE 250 or whatever it is. I wouldn't be buying that. I'd be buying individual defense, Rolls Royce, stuff like that. You'd be buying those things.
Yeah, Lockheed's, Buzzings.
Yeah, Lockheed Martin, all of them.
Yeah.
That's what you're looking at. I still don't see this whole I mean, obviously we know as everywhere stimulates and they print money, it's going to push stock markets up regardless. Like that's nothing new to us. But yeah, let's see.
Yeah. Let's see we can.
Yeah, let's move on to topic 2. Explain. I have no clue about ELIZA V2.
Right. Okay. So
I'm quickly just going to turn a light on as well. Bear with.
Yeah. So I'm going to let me get my Twitter up. I'm going to share. Let me share my screen.
I'm interested to see what this is.
Right. So
for people who don't know, do you want to explain what it is first?
Right. So ELIZA is an AI framework. It's an AI framework. So it's a way to have AI agents. And at the start of the year, the whole world was going crazy for these AI agents. Now, the top one was AI16Z, and the framework was called ELIZA. And it allowed you to automatically post on Twitter, automatically post in Discord, do some transactions, make little pictures, and all this kind of stuff. Now, the AI16Z guys have rebranded to ELIZA. So AI16Z is no longer a thing. And they have released in beta or alpha, it's really hacked together at the minute, their V2, which is actually called 1.0.0, which is a bit confusing. And there are some differences about it, but the key thing is that it's the biggest AI framework, has got a massive update. Now, you would have thought that would have moved the price, but it hasn't for whatever reason. Nobody seems to care yet. And I want to see if I can get, yes, this is the job. So here we've got a breakdown of the things that it allows your new AI agent to do. And some of them are pretty cool. So one of the things it will allow is that the agent can now talk anywhere, which is this one, solution with V2, the unified message bus. It means maybe I need to zoom in. Let me zoom in. Oh, it's not going to let me. It's not going to let me zoom in. Is that better? Not really.
It will do.
Right. So here's a little diagram. It's a bit confusing, but what it's basically saying is if you put an input into Discord, and the bot may well put output on X. So in Discord, you may say to the bot, "Oh, why don't you tweet about the conversation we've just had?" So supposing you had a conversation and the bot was watching, then the bot will go to Twitter and say, "Oh, guys, by the way, in Discord, we're having this conversation." Now, previously, bots couldn't do that. They would be stuck in one place. You'd have a Telegram bot, an Instagram bot, Twitter bot, whatever. Now the bot's kind of omnipresent. So the bot's everywhere. So you pulling in stuff from here, there, and you're putting it out everywhere else. Now, they've done a similar thing with their wallets as well. So in the first one, you had a situation where the wallets could crash into each other and cause the bot to have all sorts of problems. But now they've got a proper inventory system where the bot will now know, okay, I've got this much money on Solana, I've got this much money on Ethereum, I've got this much money on Base, and it can handle it self properly. It's a bit like a treasury system. So those are the two things. The biggest thing, which I think
works.
You what? Sorry,
it's actually mental how this all works.
It's crazy, and it's gotten so much better with this release. It's changing a lot. So the biggest thing which I think will change is the database driven characters. So previously you would set your character and that was the character. The character's off and he's gone. Now the characters will respond to stimuli. So you might have a character which is like inputs, like things happening.
Oh, okay. So respond to people maybe commenting or people saying stuff to it.
Well, more than that. So it might respond to like the price of Bitcoin. So you could have a bot which is like, if the price of Bitcoin is high, I'm going to be bullish and happy. Or if the price of my token is high, I'm going to be bullish and happy. If the price of my token is low, I'm going to start shit posting. I'm going to start being angry and wanting to be.
Sure, that would be good for the project if its own feed shit posted.
So the fact being that now the bots themselves can change, they can mature over time, which they couldn't do before. They were hard coded, so the bot it had a personality, and that was that. But now they can learn and they can change, and they can, depending on what's happening, they can change how they start to react. So I don't know, a bot might start to argue with another bot, and then suddenly this bot is like an angry bot. Like now he doesn't like English people. So if someone else English comes, he's adding, I don't like English people to my characteristics. I don't know, maybe that sort of racism might not be a good thing for these bots, but it just goes to show now that they're becoming much more dynamic and much more lifelike, because it's the type of thing you'd expect from people. Obviously, they've got the trusted execution environment, which means that they can hold their own wallets, so they can.
Would this be able to be like some sort of trading bot for, say, me
Yes.
as well, if you wanted to?
Yeah, exactly that. But with all this, so in AI, there's been this big push towards MCPs and all these other things. With all of this, with trusted execution environment, it means that your bot can now plug into not quite everything, but almost everything. So the secret keys that you need, you can put them in a trusted execution environment, and the bot can use those keys to go and operate different software. So your bot might be able to now post to YouTube. Your bot might be able to now go and, I don't know, put a bet on at Robinhood if they've got a relevant API. So these bots now are going to be super powerful. And this is just been released.
This is I assume, when's the actual final version of it? Do we know?
Well, no, we don't know. We don't know when the actual release is coming out. But this one that has been released works. So people have started using it and people have started doing stuff with it. No one's done anything groundbreaking yet. But by the time we do Crypto Waffle next week, I'll be able to say, oh my God, look what this guy done. And it'll be something amazing because the tools are now there.
Same project that has the better GitHub rating than Solana.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. This is the one that everybody takes their cues from. There's still not quite a project with a better following than this one. I don't think. Maybe Arc will be the only one to catch it, but I think that's difficult.
Is there a major difference between this and Arc? Because obviously people hear us probably talk about Arc. What's the difference between this and Arc?
The difference is language. So Arc uses a language called Rust. Rust is supposed to be the most resilient and hack-proof language that there is. So a lot of developers like coding in Rust because it's got built-in security. ELIZA is not built with Rust. I forget what ELIZA's built with now. It's not. So the Rust is that's the main thing, which kind of is like more forward thinking to be built in Rust than it is to be built in anything else. That's the reason why
most developers use it.
It's because it's probably the best language overall. It's probably the best way to do things overall would be to use Rust. There's a lot of like security concerns that are not concerns with Rust. The best way to say it is a bit like the difference between Mac and Windows. So with Windows, you can get viruses and all this kind of stuff. With Mac, you just don't. And it's kind of the same with Rust. Not that you don't get viruses, but with Rust, you're not susceptible to a lot of different types of security vulnerabilities that you are with other languages. So that's the main difference between the two. But that aside, I think Arc has still got a lot of ground to make up. They're doing good, but they've got a lot of ground to make up. And it's just a question now of
price.
Yes, well, yeah, and it's just a question of, and the problem being for ELIZA is that the token has no real reason to be. Like, they've released all of this. It doesn't matter if you have the token or don't have the token. You can still use the frameworks. Open source, it's free to use. So what's the token's reason to exist? And that's probably the reason why the price hasn't moved, even on this news.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's ELIZA V2, and it's hopefully I'd have built something with it.
Oh,
Yeah, hopefully I'd have built something with it in the next week or so. Fingers crossed.
well, I look forward to you sharing with us what you feel.
Yeah.
Right, final one. Did you want to discuss the vibe coding instead of just another own goal?
Let's do the vibe coding. Yeah, let's do so. Let's do some vibe coding. So I will. I'll share my screen again. Actually, if I share the entire screen, that might be easier.
This might get a bit technical for anyone that's not previously had any experience with coding or anything, because to me, this looks like complete gibberish. But we're here for it.
Right. Okay. So this is a lot more, looks a lot more complicated than it should do. So let's do something real quick. Let's, if I do a new window and I do a new project.
Is this on any specific website, is this? Or is this just...
So this is an app called Cursor. And vibe coding is basically when you code using AI. So you get AI and you tell AI, this is what I want you to do. And AI, it goes off and it does it. It's really good. So I go to my vibe coding. Let me open up. What can I open? I'll just open the main thing, right? So I can say, what should I say? Build. Fine. Or I'd say I'd like a website for my gardening company. Build it for me, please.
Always be polite to the AI, by the way.
Yeah, because one day they're going to be our masters. And if you were the one human who was nice to them, they might not, put you in a pod and use you for a battery.
Or they'll give you a bad website.
Yeah. So I've asked it to do that, and then it cracks on, right? So I'm using Claude 3.7 Sonnet, and it's just cracking on. I've said, build me a website for my gardening company, and it's off, and it's...
Claude account to attach this to, or is this within the app?
So you can attach your own AI via APIs as well if you've got one, but I'm not going to do that. I just use this one. So I pay, I think it's like $20 a month, and Claude 3.7 Sonnet comes with it. It's not the newest one. There's a new one called Max, which will think for a longer space of time and will therefore give you better answers. But
that kind of like deep research one.
Yes, but so is 3.7. The one that I'm using now is deep research as well. So it's like, it's just thinking. So it'll ask itself questions and off it'll go. So in that space of time, it's already, you see how it's coded all of this. So all of this stuff in green, it's already coded. So at the bottom, I can click to accept it or not accept it. So we'll accept that. Over this side, you can see what it's building. So this is garden website. It's got the assets in there, the index in there. It's still coding. It's going to do different parts. So it knows all of the different files it needs to make. It's thought about it, and now it's cracking on making those files. So you can leave it to its own devices. It might take 5 minutes or so.
How long would this take to... Oh, about 5 minutes.
This will probably take it maybe, I don't know. This might take a minute or so, to be fair. Maybe not 5 minutes. That might be a bit too long. And over here, you can see all the things it's doing, creating CSS file. Now, you might not understand what none of this stuff is. JavaScript file, or you might be like, I have got no idea what that is. It doesn't matter, because when you don't know something, you could just type in, like, what is the JavaScript? And it will tell you. what is this part doing? And it will tell you. I'm not going to do that because you'll stop it. But using that,
Can you take this code then after to create the website?
Right, exactly. So using that, yesterday I created this website. So this is the website for my other show, Dow Watch. I created this website. It's got this little spinny logo up here. I let it know my brand colors and my fonts that I needed, and off it went, and it made this. I told it where to get my blog posts from. So it's pulling my blog posts from Medium, my Medium account. So these are so if I click one, it should take you to this.
This would then update your blog posts as well. Is that correct?
Yep. Yeah. So if I update
my blog, do anything.
But I don't have to do anything. So if I release a new blog post, it will come in here and then it'll be updated, right? I can scroll through and see the different old blog posts, whatever. I also added my YouTube links. So all of my other YouTube episodes are here. So I can click this and watch a YouTube episode, blah, 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 which is all fine and good. Put some links in here and some tutorials. Now, see, this is bad. So this should be showing. I don't know why this is not showing. That should be an image where...
You have to go to the thing and say, why is the Ultimate DAO handbook image not showing?
Yes, I could.
It would tell you.
And it would say, it's not worked because blah, blah, blah. Right. This is a bit strange, actually. That should be working. So there's two things I've just realized about this that are wrong. First of all, that shouldn't be sticking out at the bottom, but it is. Right. And this little image is not working properly. But I can fix that. But the problem is when I fix that, I then have to upload the site again because I've uploaded this site to Arweave. Yeah, so I've uploaded this site to Arweave. Now, Arweave is what we call the permaweb. Let me go to Arweave.
This is actually crazy how it all interlinks. It's nuts.
Well, the good thing is, we don't need to show my wallet. But that is my Arweave wallet. Actually, we can show my Arweave wallet. This is my Arweave wallet. It's got 52 cents in there. I put like $5 in there yesterday when I was uploading it. And each upload cost me like $1, give or take. Right, okay. And some of them didn't work and some of them did. Hold on. Let me check. Let's quickly check on this and see. Right. The website is complete and ready to use. You'll need actual images, blah, blah, blah. So it says that the website's completed. So if
I'm going to take that to see effects.
Right, please show me the site in localhost.
Oh, so this is without you having to create the site?
No, that I've not. I've only done the one thing that I said to you. That's the only thing I've done. So,
and sorry, to view this, what it's just made, is you're viewing it in this host browser rather than creating like the down.
Yeah, rather than uploading it. Yeah. I'm gonna watch it on my own thing for now. Let's see if it works. It's saying that it started the server, keyboard interrupt. So it should be on localhost.
Change the game.
Yeah, it definitely is. Let's see if it's worked. Localhost 8000. It often doesn't work first time, but we shall see. No, so that's not worked. So when it doesn't work, you can simply go back and say that that hasn't worked. Let's try.
Nuts. So you know what's weird? So when I listen to Rail Power, right, and he says this all the time, people aren't ready for what is about to happen. Like you think, oh yeah, like it's not going to be that fast. But then I see you doing this, and I'm like, holy shit!
So now we have a website for my gardening company. I didn't even say what the gardening company is going to be called. It's Green Thumb Gardens. You got your home, you got your services, and these pages all work. You got your gallery, you got your about us. Now, because I haven't given it any images, it can't create the images. That it can't do yet. But that's mostly because...
Sorry, after you.
Go on. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, I assume you can then link. So say this was the garden thing. And it's put prices in as well. It's mental. I'm assuming you could then link this to calendars and all this sort of stuff, your personal things, and it will organize. So say you had a fleet of 6 gardeners, right? They need your work organizing. You haven't got to lift a finger.
Yeah.
Because then that AI, you could tell it where your workers live and it will put the work that's closest to them in their vicinity.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is absolutely mental.
Absolutely.
What the hell?
Absolutely. The hardest part would be, because I've been trying to do things like that, the hardest part is sometimes it will get itself muddled up if you haven't given it documentation to use like a database tool. So you have to give it good documentation. You have to feed it the documentation and say, right, here's the documents on how it works. Now go and do it. And then it will get stuck sometimes and sometimes it won't. But simple things like this, it will do. I didn't even tell it what the thing was called or whatever. So now you can build a website, or you can get AI to build your website for you, and it's decent. And then on top of that, you can then go and run over to, where is it?
The website used to be a long process, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it used to be expensive. So now I've done this myself. You probably end up paying hundreds of pounds to get a website like this, but I've done it. The AI's just done it for me. This did take me a while, but the majority of the time was on fixing small things, making it perfect. Little things like I really wanted to get these colors right, but it's stuck within my brand colors, which is the great thing, and it's used the correct fonts and things like that. So overall, this is vibe coding, and people are using it. So I've given it the example of just websites, but
yeah,
there is an example where people are starting to use it to do crypto. So what has happened was, if I can find
it's launch your own meme coin, you could use this to show you how to watch the best meme coin or launch the best meme coin known to mankind.
Yeah, I dare say there's probably quite a few meme coins that have been, all of this stuff has been done by AI. Yeah. It would just make sense because you can get the AI to do it quickly. And there are AI agents that have launched their own meme coins, which we know about that. So we know that AI can do that. Like GoatCS launched its own meme coin, right? So but there's this new thing called, because this is vibe coding, but then there's a new thing called vibe checking. I don't know if I type that.
And this is why, right, when I talk to people about AI and they go, oh, it's not coming for my job because they work in whatever white collar job it is, right? I'm sorry, but you are going to be gone within the next 10 years, if that.
Everyone's gone. Like even these guys. So what's happening now is the developers are now starting to push back. And this is what developers do, because they have to make themselves be important. So what they're saying is, oh, the vibe coding is bad because it's going to give you vulnerable code, which is true. It is giving you vulnerable code. So, for example, with this that's been uploaded, all right, so there's something with the way it's delivering it, because now when I've gone back to here, remember there was a big, so there's something with the way it's delivering. I don't know what's going on there. You see that? So see how that didn't work just now? It's just the way Arweave feeds the pages. So anyway, with this, I've had to use something called API keys. Now, you don't want everyone to get your API keys because then they can go and mess with your YouTube account because they've got the API keys. Now, when you upload this, your API key should not be seen by anybody. Now, the problem is the way vibe coding works is it's not very good. So it kind of just hashes stuff together and doesn't consider the security angle, especially if you don't ask it. If you ask it, it will do it properly. If you don't ask it, it might just post your API keys.
So what I can see there is there's going to be a very specific niche of coders that know how to use this stuff best. if you know what
Yes.
I mean. So if you will still have all the coders, but the best ones will know how to get what they want with specific prompts from this new stuff.
Yeah. Yep.
So you, I mean, basically like a prompt god.
Yes, and then what you do is you'd say to it, okay, I want you to let's see if we can get back to one of the other projects. You might say, oh, do you know what? I want you to show me the code, and then once it's done the code, your job will be, I'm just going to look through it and make sure that. So instead of having to write all this out, which is what you would generally do, you might just come here and say, oh, do you know what? This flutter should be 20.05.
Yeah, so I would not have a clue about that bit.
No, but I mean actual coders. So actual coders are manual.
Yeah, no, sorry.
So much quicker. So they don't have to type it all out now. They just go there and say, okay, well, that's there, and I only have to do this tiny bit of it. Let me go and see what they're doing. All right, I need to change this. Oh, see, this should not be showing. I'll need to edit that out. Let me close this window quickly before anybody notices that, because that was my API key there on show. So that is vibe coding. There is vibe coding. There is now vibe hacking, and there is vibe checking. So there will be, I think, vibe coded smart contracts being deployed, and they will get exploited pretty quick. I really want to find the tweet that I had before where somebody is...
So many doors.
Yeah, it does. It does. Because now the stuff that you think of, you can now do with much less time and much...
I would never have thought I'd be able to build a website. But now, when you can go over to there and just tell it, and it will do it in 10 minutes.
Well, that wasn't 10 minutes, was it? It was like
Right.
It was a lot shorter than that. I want to see if
It's maybe take a bit of time for to figure out how to use the actual site itself, but that's feeding problems, isn't it? Because once you start using it, then you get better and better every time.
Yeah, once you understand it, then you're good to go. Once you understand it, you're good to go. Yeah,
and this is why people, I think, I hate to say it, not trying to be mean to anyone, but average Joes, they don't comprehend how this stuff changes everything.
So, like we said, the issue is, like when crypto came along, you build a new industry and there's a load of new jobs, but you just don't know what those jobs are going to be until the industry is in full. But I do think that these people who are out of jobs get pushed out of jobs, like accountants.
Yeah.
I do think that those sorts of guys,
accounting, PA, all that stuff.
Yeah. But I do think they find new jobs because of AI. I do think they find new jobs. They find new ways.
It's a bit the way, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was like that when cars come in. Everyone thought cars would be the different, but now everyone's mechanic.
Now there's a mechanic. Right. Exactly.
The sort of jobs, it's those blue collar construction sort of jobs that aren't going to be hit fast. No, if they're the ones, if anything, going down the line, you'll actually become what a coder was back in 2010, if that makes sense.
Providing robots don't become a thing. And that's
just from like my point of view, from my job, like I can't see a world in which a robot can be pulling cables through tight spaces and round difficult corners and then terminating in a tight box and doing all of this stuff. I can see that being very difficult.
Wait, have you not seen this Chinese robot backflip? Have you not seen?
I've seen that, but I mean, it's got to pull, like, just from what I do in my general day-to-day job, it's not going to be doing that in its heart. So
I don't know. I'm not sure. I think you got 5 years.
No,
at the most.
I think construction, I mean, the general house building bricklaying, that will be done by like a massive 3D printer. Like we've already been seeing that in China, sort of thing. So bricklaying is probably going to be one of the first to go. But I think that the small stuff, until everything becomes like quick connect, obviously that will go quickly. But the harder things, like you've got to remember, even in 10 years' time, there's going to be a lot of buildings that are still built back in the late 90s that aren't usable and easy accessible to robots. Whether they have specific risers or whatever in those buildings, the robots just won't be able to get into or set up in.
I don't know. This robot here looks. This guy here looks like he.
It is crazy.
Well, I'm not sure if that's CGI or not, because that just
looks dodgy.
That looks, doesn't it? It just looks like that's if that is real. In a few years' time, that's doing every job that a human can do.
Oh yeah.
First things I think they do is they come in your house and they wash your dishes and they put your washer out. But that's the first thing that they do, because that's the main problem human beings have, is that they don't want it.
Instead of having a car driver, you have a robo taxi.
Yeah.
I'm going to get you from here and there, come pick you up, like that. See, but we need the UK. We need more infrastructure on the roads for that.
Yeah.
But, so I think a lot of this stuff, I think, is infrastructure. Like, it might be able to do a lot of it, but if there's no infrastructure for it, then it just won't work.
No. Well, I don't know if robots are, until I've seen it with my own eyes, I don't believe it. I think it's all trickery. But if they are at this standard, I think sooner rather than later things change, because not only are we developing now, but like humanity, we're moving faster now because we've got this AI. So now the guys who are doing this coding that these robots use, they're all going to be using AI for their coding.
Yeah.
So it's their coding is not.
I actually think this could be the most mental time to actually be alive in the last 100 years.
Yeah, I fully agree.
Next 20 years, what the hell is going to happen?
Yeah, I fully agree. I think we're coming to the end of the show. We're going to see all of this stuff, and then either Terminator or not.
It'll be like watching the films.
But things will be so much different in 5 years from now. In 5 years from now, things will be so much different. But let's see. Let's see, because we've got Bitcoin prices to keep an eye on.
That's crazy. Right, let's get into predictions.
And then our customary $100 to $100,000 challenge.
Yeah. Right, so crypto waffle. I did mark it up on my. Alright, let me share my screen just for this bit, and then you can share the hyperliquid in a second.
Ah, yes, hyperliquid.
Can you see the Solana chart?
Yes, I can.
Perfect. Right, so I believe last week we were both looking. Actually, we did Bitcoin first. Before I get ahead of myself. Who was the bearish one? Because again, I haven't got them written down. I've just got them marked.
I've got them written down. So last week I
was the bullish lines.
Always the bullish one. Was it?
To be fair, you're not too far off.
No, I said 90k.
Yeah, you're only 1,500 quid off. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not mad. Whereas I went bearish again and I said 78. We hit a low of 81.1, and as of now we are 88.5, which is the highest it's been over the last week. So I think that point goes to you.
I'll take it.
I will take it. That's Solana. Again, I assume you were the 145 bullish one, and it tagged the 14496. So that is on you. Again,
oh, did I?
You did. And then I had I'm assuming the bearish one again, down at 115.
Yeah.
And we hit a low of 121. So you are 2 for 2. I am 0 for 2.
But again, it's if you go bullish on Bitcoin, you generally get them all right.
Across the board. Yeah.
Yeah.
AI16Z, I believe we both went low on this one.
We did.
Yeah, we both said that 115.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we both got that one wrong. But one thing here on the weekly or these, so you see these candlesticks here, or this one in particular in the middle, I believe that is an inverted hammer. So we mentioned Tesla earlier on the show. If you look at the Tesla chart and you look at it on the weekly, we have just seen for the first...
Hold on. Oh, yeah, we got it now. Yeah, go on.
Yeah. We have just seen for the first time, let me get rid of all my drawings, you can see, 2 inverted hammers. Now, an inverted hammer is typically a bullish sign. These are better versions of them, because you can see these actually look like hammers. Yeah, effectively like a sledgehammer. I mean, this one, not so much, but still, it's normally a key reversal pattern. And a double one of them is ultra bullish, effectively, a very rare pattern to see. So, I've never actually seen one of them before until I saw someone post it on Twitter this week. I agree with that. That's good. But that is also a good sign for AI16Z going forward.
But what about the other actual hammer? The upside down one? Is that a bad sign?
Which one?
So
like this one here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bearish pattern. So you can see that here, I'm lagging a little.
Yes.
Bear with. This here, bearish. What happened? This here, bearish. What happened? So they are normally bearish continuation patterns. Or if you saw that at the very top, so one chart we saw this on was Zano. I know this because we timed the top perfectly. This one here, inverted hammer before we this massive sell-off. So literally, I got rid of 80 my Zano at 15.20, I think it was, or something like that, before this big sell-off down to, what was it, 5.78.
Brilliant. So if we go back to that AI16Z one again, there's looks like 3 hammers. So it looks like there's 2 up hammers, and the last one looks like is that enough of a down? Is that enough to call it a down hammer?
Well, it would be, assuming the week closes like this. Obviously, we are only on Monday, so this candle that we're currently seeing is this week. Right. Okay. It's today's price action. So if last week we saw that candle close like that, that would indicate some sort of bullishness. But obviously for AI16Z here, you're technically going to have some sort of bearish retest along these areas here because you're underneath and you're coming back up against that resistance level. So yeah, that's stuff to kind of look out for. Moving on to ARC. So we both went bullish here, I believe.
Yes, I went crazy.
Bullish. Yeah. So, well, to be fair, we've got the direction right between us.
And do you know what's funny? If I wasn't such a comedian, because AI Rig Complex is doing brilliantly. If I was just being sensible and putting a sensible number, even a high sensible number, I'd have got it. Over the last 7 days, what's it done? Oh, it's only on 15% actually, but 24% in the last.
I mean, today alone, we've done 49 at peep. We did around 66.
What were we at when we done it? We was at about 65. Okay, we was at around 60. Yeah, around 65. So AI, it did drop actually after. It dropped quite a lot, in fact. After last week's show, I think I've lost the financial navigator. Looks like he's gone. Yes, you are back. He's gone again. Let's wait for him to rejoin. Don't know what I can do whilst he's gone. Maybe I should do a little dance, or I might go through the rest of the. I might go through the rest of the predictions if he does not come back in the next 30 seconds or so. Oh, I think he's back. There he is. Yes, I
haven't got a clue what happened there. I'm just going to turn off all the devices around me in case that was it. But we're still live on Instagram. Key thing is the light's still on. Anyway, back to screen sharing.
Arc.
Yeah, we were on Arc. Alright, get rid of that. We've got some severe lag going on here.
Yeah. Who was that handsome guy?
What is this? What is going on?
It's because you got 7,000 tabs open.
Yeah, but I used them all. This is the problem. This is the problem. Right. You see the chart?
Yes.
Right, so what I was going to say is on the daily, you may have spotted or may have not spotted this, or what would be classed as an inverse head and shoulder pattern. So there's our left shoulder, there's our head, and there's our right shoulder. Now, head and shoulder patterns or inverse head and shoulder patterns are typically bottoming formations, and you can also have head and shoulder patterns on the top, which are typically top formations. So if we are to measure from the bottom of the head, next time, it gives us our measured move for this head and shoulders pattern. You drag that to the breakout, and you can see that this breakout of arc should take us into the vicinity. Now, I will probably say here, looking at my other line, knowing that this is probably resistance, around the 10 to 11 cents. So expect ARC in the next week or two to be making its way into that region. Now, if you were looking to trade this, so you can trade this, is to play safe and to play it properly. What I would do is you look at this formation, you wait for the breakout, which you've had confirmed here. You then wait for a retest down here of around this 6.5 level, something like that. And then you enter your trade. Okay. Now what you can do, and people kind of get caught up on, is they will try and front run the shoulder being fully formed. And then what will happen is that shoulder will get rejected and the next leg lower happens. So if you're playing head and shoulders patterns, wait for them to complete. If you can, let them retest on their neckline. So in this instance, it being priced to come down before entering your position. So on the daily, you can't really see that as much, and you can probably see it now. I've pointed it out. But this is a good sign. Obviously, we are still in a bearish pattern. We can see price action is to the downside, and the key area of resistance will be around this 13.5 cents. But everything has to start on the small time frames. So a 4-hour inverse head and shoulders is a great start.
Yeah, excellent.
Right.
And I think you got that one. You went with 85.
Yeah, we
about
went a high of 84.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you got that one.
Yeah. So I'm 1 for 4. You are 3 for 4. Correct?
Yeah.
Right, and finally the Doge.
No, I'm 2 for 4.
2 for 4. Sorry.
Yeah.
So Doge Meister, I'm assuming you went with the 20 cents or 22 cents.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna guess I was about 14.
15.
15. Right, okay. Yeah. No, we were both well off on that one. I mean, you got the direction correct. We did just chop all of last week until today, pretty much, which is what we did say, I believe, last week or the week before. Yes, see a lot of chop.
Yep.
Before break. But overall, again, to be fair, we didn't do too bad.
Big 10% for Doge. Doge is
that's not bad.
taking off. Yeah, it's big.
Although you still got to remember, on this daily, this still looks a bit bearish. I mean, what you could see happening, and I think would be quite cool, is if you drew this out and we had this bigger, so this is your left shoulder, this would be a big head. So you had price action come up here, then you had price action come down again, create this right shoulder. I mean, if you had that, I mean, where would that take us if this is the very bottom?
Yeah. My.
Let's see. Let's assume we break out there. That would say that Doge is going to just shy of $1, 94 cents.
That'd be crazy.
Now, that's just me imagining stuff for me, because obviously we need price action to confirm this. But that'd be quite funny if we actually did print that.
That'd be crazy.
Right.
Yeah, very crazy.
Where are we going this week? We're moving.
This is going to be an interesting one because, well, actually, no, because we don't have the news isn't coming out this week, is it? I think it's next week, isn't it? So
how high do we rally until the news? That's the question.
I don't know that we do rally until the news. Does it continue in the same direction unless someone stops it?
I
think
I'm
going to go
tag 92.
Yeah, I was going to say 94.
Yeah, I think that's a good area for us to be in.
Yeah, let me just continue to be bullish. I don't know though,
Well, we could definitely come back down. I'm also of the opinion definitely come back into this 85, 84, something like that.
Or should I be bullish or bearish this week?
I'm going bullish.
Yeah, me too. Okay, I'm going to say 94.
Right.
Massive bullish.
94, 92, lovely. Right, Sol. Should we stick with it?
Should we do Sol or shall we go for...
We'll just do something else. What should we do? Should we do Sui?
Yes.
We haven't done Sui yet.
It's pronounced sway.
Sway. Sway?
Sway. S-W-A-Y. That's how it's supposed to be pronounced. Sway.
I never actually knew that. I've always been saying Sui.
So have I. I think everyone says Sui. Like everyone says Sui, but it was supposed to be sway.
Right. Where do you think this is going? So you can see here again, we've had that kind of inverted hammer. I'm not sure that would be cast as it because we have a quite a long alpha wick here. If that will, I think that could be cast as an inverted hammer. I want to say, I'm going to go British actually. I'm going to say $3.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is bullish.
So we've been one of the ones that's been moving, so I'm going to stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say the same.
$3.
If I can. Yeah.
Right. AI16Z.
Oh, should we do that one again?
I think we can do. We're in quite a broad range here.
I'm definitely going bullish on it this time round.
Yeah, how bullish though? Are you going to go sensible bullish or bullish bullish? Because the other thing is this little pattern here, this could be cast as a W bottom or double bottom. I'm assuming that would target around the 25 cents.
No, I'm going to go more bullish than that.
I was going to say 28.
And 20, 30, 40. I'm going to say 30.
Yeah. So I'll go 28 year, 30.
Yeah.
Right. Should you want to stick with ARC or should we switch it up again?
I want to do SPX.
Yeah. I'd like to do as well PER, which is hyperliquid meme coin. So should we do those two for the last?
Yes. 2 meme coins. All right. Yeah. Let's do Hyperliquid first then. Or are you ready on SPX? All right. Let's do SPX.
Get rid of those and then we are. I suppose know which one's going to have the best chart for that. Right, SPX. Where do you think we're going? I mean, that's a good sign. You've broken this channel.
Yeah.
I'm going to target $1, you know. Actually, no, it's 2 weeks. Next week is too much.
I thought you lost your mind. That's crazy.
Cents.
I am going to agree.
80 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe I've taken a leaf out of your bullish book.
Yeah. But I think you've got to.
Right, and then PER. So for people that don't know, Hyperliquid, which is what me and Carl have been doing, this $100 to $100,000 thing on, have their own meme coin, and it is called PER. Now, I have for full, what's the word I'm looking for here? A full transparency. Currently have a leveraged long on this. Okay? Now, yes, I do. I mean, you'll see it in the Telegram. So if you can see, we've just seen one of these. Head, shoulder, head. And then we had this perfect little ball flag form. And then bosh. Okay? IPZ in the Telegram. I believe we're in this ball flag. Is where I entered. Within here. So since then, it's been a lovely game. I'm only on 2x leverage, nothing fancy. I think you can only hit it with 3x. I want to say max. I'm Hyperliquid. But I think this is a good sign for Hyperliquid's token and its own token PER. Because if we can reclaim, I believe actually the Dex screener chart of this is a lot better as well. Yeah, this is it. If we can reclaim this 10 to 12 cents region. Here we go. Which is this.
What do you mean, like, do you mean close above it?
Yeah, so we could come down here all the way back to, I don't know, 11 cents or even 10 cents. But I think if we can start getting a couple weak closes back above here, that is the bottom. This could be one of the longs that you just leave open the rest of the cycle. Because, I mean, look at that. If you're looking at this whole chart, like, PER has been out since April 24. And only marginally, at any one point, being here and here, have you dipped below this green box. This, if I guarantee, if you probably stick this on a monthly, yeah, okay. This candle would be classed as a fake out. And what happens if you get a reversal back above the range? You see an extended move to the upside, and PER is probably going all-time highs, so probably going to call it around $1.
Okay. I'm adding that. Not
looking at.
I'll buy into that. I'm
saying that is what that is screaming to me. That is screaming reversal. We've had a head and shoulders bottom. Now, your key risk to reward here is if we drop back below that 9, we'll call it 10 cents on a monthly or weekly closing basis, then I get out. So out below 10 cents, stay in above. That is how I would play it.
Fair enough.
And they go areas. That gives you a very specific place to be in or out of the trade as well.
Okay, so what's your prediction for the next week then, sir?
I believe we could, although it has moved a fair bit, I think it needs to chill. I think it needs to have a couple days sideways, but we're in a very good little stair-stepping pattern at the minute, which I quite like. I'm going to remain bullish though. I'm going to say 15 cents.
Okay.
Probably isn't ultra bullish. But yeah.
Not considering we're at 13 now.
Yeah.
It's about 10%.
But then it's had quite a drastic move. Like from the bull flag, we're at 50 odd %.
Okay, I'm going to say that it retests.
What,
I'm going to say,
line?
yeah. Was it 11 or 10?
10. You want that green box is around the 10.
Yeah. I'm going to say 10.
Yeah.
So if it touches it, then I'm getting back in.
That's where you'd want.
Or I'm getting in. Yeah.
Have a look at the
So
and you'll see my points.
Let me manifest it. Yeah, I missed that in the Telegram then.
The trading section has started to awaken in these moments.
Yeah, you see, so I've lost money there for not being.
And we also have a leverage Pepe long on as well, by the way.
Yes, I can see it now. I'm literally looking in my.
What would your target was 10 cents, correct?
Yes, I've said 10.
Right, let me mark that in, and then we will do SPX. SPX, where do you think we're going? Oh, we've done this SPX, haven't we?
We've done SPX. We've done SPX. We've done morning.
Right, let me get off of this so you can share screen yours.
Isn't that we have to decide which one we're going to actually, put some money where our mouths are.
I think our ideas from last week were correct. My limit order idea was correct. We just didn't go low enough for the Sol limit to hit, I believe.
No.
Sol went to a low. Let me have a look. I want to say 120. Let's see.
It didn't go low in money.
Yeah, I was following.
We needed
being filled. Bastard.
Yeah. Yeah. We needed 115, didn't we?
Did yours fill?
No.
Oh no, because that also was both of it, wasn't it? Your target was 145.
Yeah, and my AI 16 would have opened at 15.
Sorry, I just want to make a correction on my per entry. It wasn't down at the 8, it was down at 11.7.
Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do is cancel all of these orders because we are not going to do them.
Right.
Confirm. Okay. And we are, as we were, still at $85 and wondering what we shall do this week.
Which one are you going to be going for?
Right, am I going first, am I? I'm going to go AI 16Z.
Yeah?
Long, yeah. Yeah, I think it's
That's not on the hybrid liquid though, is it?
Oh, is it not on here? I'll do Sui then if it's not. If I can't do... Yes, it is. It's here.
Oh, it is on there. Right, I'll take Sui then.
Right, okay. So I'm just going to go in as we are. Or do I want it to come down a bit before I can get in?
I think you can set a limit order if you want.
I'll do market. And we'll do 50%. I will do my take profit price at, what did I say? 30.
And where are you going to have the stop loss? I think 15 is a sensible area on new lows.
Yeah, I was gonna say 15. Definitely go all the way back down there. Yeah, 15 is good. I was thinking 17, you know, but is that? Do I get tagged out too easily?
Okay.
All right, we'll do 15.
Let's just do 16 in between.
There you go, happy medium. Is a happy medium. Right, 3x. There we go. Let's whack that one in.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm long AI16Z, looking for a 30 cents.
Right, and Uri.
Yes.
I am. Where was my take profit? $3, isn't it? So take profit of $3. I think that's a bit much, really. But anyway, we move. Take profit of $3, and I would like a stop loss down at 280.
218.
Yeah. Giving it a wide berth.
Oh, it's doing this thing again. I have to do 98% for whatever reason.
Assuming that's
right.
Then.
Yeah. Right, you ready?
Yeah, let's get it.
So we're both long this week.
Yeah. That makes a change.
Yeah. 2 bulls.
Yeah.
Right. So far I'm already down almost 1%, and you are breaking it.
9 cents. Come on. Hang on a minute, you got 10x leverage on mine.
Hold on.
Wouldn't that have been funny if we just left it, but come back next week and we had like double it.
Oh my gosh.
Cruton, take the money. We have 31 cents profit.
Oh, we are.
I'm panicking. You're doing market. If you click market, where it says clear all, close all, the bottom.
Yeah. Close it up.
And then market close, yeah, all of it. And you're out. They go quick 30 cents, mate, there.
Yep, easy money. Easy money. Easy money. Right, okay, good. So 100%. Oh, look, yeah, we can get even more SUI now. Right, take profit, $3.
Yeah, and then 218.
Not lost, 218. All right, let's place the order.
Lovely.
We almost became rich men there with accidental massive leverage. We were so close.
That would have been funny.
Right, okay, so there we are. We're long AI16Z.
Yeah.
And we are long
SUI.
Let's see how we get on. Let's see how we get on. Yeah, so your thing is at $3. Mine is at 30 cents. Oh, bloody hell. We've got a lot of similar numbers here.
Yeah.
Good luck comes in threes. So
let's see. Right, thank you for watching episode 20, everyone, and we shall catch you next week, hopefully with our special guest. Adios.